are for another segment of SBJ Radio, Shelters by Jesus. I'm Pastor Richard Berry. I'm senior pastor at the shelter, and we are so excited about this segment. You're going to love it. We'll be talking to a family that came to us, and we'll introduce all of them in a moment. What we have, a couple of them been on one other segment with me. The dad, Dave, and Isaac here was on it, but I got the whole brood. I want you to get a picture. When you look at this, before we get started, think about Christmas or Thanksgiving in your home around the table having lunch, and picture your own family. Now look at this family, and I'm going to tell you what, there's not one iota of difference between this family and the one you sat with at Thanksgiving and Christmas. They're just people. They're not feral animals. They don't make you uncomfortable. They're people with the same situations that we all have. So we want to introduce everybody, and I'm going to have David. It's David and Maria, right, Maria?
That's right.
I'm going to have you folks introduce, tell them who your children are, how old they are, all of that, please.
You want to do? This is Corinthian. He's 10 months.
Okay.
This is Lily. She's 8. Priscilla, she's 6. Samaya, she's 11. And Isaac is 10.
Thank you. And I won't ask you how old you are, Maria.
It's okay. I'm 32.
You're 32. And David?
And he's older. He's 37.
He's the oldest. Oh, so we got Grandpa and all the kiddies. This is cool, man. I can't tell you a story as good as you can. So you got a family of 7. Maria, what happened that made you guys homeless? People out there got all kinds of ideas what homelessness is. They think drugs and alcohol and all this kind of stuff. But that and the not working and all this. Would you tell us the situation that you was in, what you found yourself in,
Yeah.
what led to you taking your family out? Please.
We were renting an apartment in Waterville, a 3-bedroom. I was pregnant 3-4 months with him, and he was working full time, and I was home with the kids. The apartment we found was $1,500, and then after 3 months, they sold the house under us to new owners. The new owners raised the rent to $1,800, and at this point, I already gave birth. I was working T-Mobile full time, making about $3,500 a month, and after raising the rent $1,800 and a whole bunch of stuff wrong with the apartment, she was raising the rent again to $22. So before I knew there was no way we were gonna, I was working just to pay rent, and it was still not meeting ends because nothing was included in rent. So
that was
we
all
had
that
no
without,
choice
that was
to
without
leave.
utilities?
Nothing's included.
$2,200
For just rent,
for rent.
just rent, and nothing was included. Nothing, not one bill.
And y'all
nothing.
working full time.
I was working,
trying to
yeah.
feed a family of 7.
And it wasn't working. I started working, so food stamps, they cut mines by more than half, because I was working full time, and they cut my cash assistance as well. It was just, there was no way to make ends meet, and we tried to bargain something with her, and it wasn't working. She kept, and all the things wrong with the apartment, she wasn't fixing anything either. So we had no choice but to leave.
So when it come time to leave, you tried to go somewhere, right?
I called
What-
everywhere.
Okay.
I called everywhere. We went all the way to Portland Shelter in the car. We were crammed in that car, and my mother-in-law was in there as well with us.
So there was 3 adults and 5 children.
Yeah.
In one
In
car.
a car
My mom
that
plus
sits
her oxygen.
7.
That's wasn't a bus.
No.
It was a car.
And yes, it was a car.
That's
And
right.
his mother had a tank. She was supposed to be on oxygen 24/7.
So she's carrying oxygen.
She was in the front, yes. I don't know how we made it there, but I spoke with the shelter
Wow.
in Portland. They said they would take us in and help us. We packed everything of ours in that car. We made it over there at what?
11 o'clock.
11 at night?
11:30, yeah.
Wow.
After packing and doing everything all day, we got there at 11. That was after I came out of work. I worked a 12-hour shift, came out to
Wow.
finish packing and go to the shelter.
Oh my word.
We got to Portland and they denied us. So
They
we
denied
slept in the car.
what? What did they tell you?
They said that they didn't have any space, and I told them the person we spoke to, and I told them, you guys told us you had a space for us to come. And when we got there, they said, I don't know what to tell you, I'm sorry.
Basically, like they didn't
I had,
break down the
yeah,
communication.
I had
altogether.
$1,100. I got paid that day. I had about $1,400 in my pocket. And I told the shelter, that we had this, if they could help us out with at least a hotel or something. And they said no, that they weren't able to help us with nothing. We called hotels and it was $380, $480 a night
Oh, my
for
word.
one room.
Yeah,
Because you
but
had-
So they wouldn't book us
Because
all
you got
in
a
one
family of
room.
7.
Yeah, so we
Wow.
had to get 2 rooms.
Wow.
Because
And-
it was as late as it was at night. If
Yeah.
we would have gotten a room that night,
It was like 2 in the
we still would have
morning
to
calling.
Check out.
Checkout was a couple hours after.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
So it was just hell. It was
Wow.
just absolute hell. So we slept there in the car. And then I was trying to look for Airbnbs and that wasn't working, so we had no other choice, and thank God he's a handy person.
Now, you use the term we slept there in the car, but the truth of the matter is,
No,
You got-
they slept in the car. We were outside in the cold. Me and David.
you weren't even in the car.
No, we had
Off
to
and
leave
on,
them.
yeah.
Yeah, we would alternate inside, just kind of keep warm to
Oh,
check
my
on the
lands.
baby. But his mother was in the car, and then they were in the car. Me and David were going outside to give them more room so they can sleep proper.
Oh, my lands.
So the money we had, we took $1,000. The another night came, and it was gonna snow that night. And I had no other choice. We went to Walmart, and David bought a whole bunch of camping gear. And I don't know how he did it, but he did it. And we ended up putting 2 tents, 2 big family tents together, and we camped out in Vassalboro. And we had to pay for like a little private area there. It was a camping area. And we slept there for like 2 weeks. And
2
still,
weeks?
for about 2 weeks, yeah,
Almost, yeah.
almost 2 weeks. In the snow, and it was freezing, and I was still going to work. They were still going to school. David was still chugging everybody back and forth and taking everything with us everywhere we went because
Was your
we didn't
baby
trust.
in the tent?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I ended up.
He slept with me and David in between us because
Yeah.
that was the only way to keep everybody
Oh, my
warm.
lands.
And
Oh.
then they each slept paired
I
up.
weatherproofed it the best I could. I
So-
covered with
Well, I
tarps.
know.
Yeah.
I know. I'm saying.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a Mainer.
Yeah.
Mainer. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm born and raised in Maine. I know what it's like
Yeah.
in snow in Maine, and
Yeah.
I know if you're in a tent, and I got a baby that me and my wife are trying to huddle around,
Yeah.
I lost my mind.
Yeah. And he had a tarp over the 2 tents, and then we had like a little heater inside.
No electric heater.
An electric heater, and then he was between me and him, so he was warm, and then they all paired a bunch. So it was 2 and 2,
Oh my word.
and we kept warm. And then me and David would eat, and we did a fire outside, and we tried to make the best out of it.
So would you explain how you found us?
After what, 2 weeks, our time was coming to end that we had to leave. We were gonna try to extend our time, Priscilla said back. But it was already the end of summer, so the camping area was closing off. So we had no other choice than to look around. Who was it that told us? I think I was just calling, and then I work in T-Mobile, and the director there, I guess, has done things with you guys before here.
Yeah, he was part of the Secret Santas, right?
Yeah,
And his
And,
name is. You remember his name is?
I think it was Derek.
Okay.
I think it was. I know he's the director. And,
So but he's where you worked, right? He's the
yeah,
boss?
they knew what I was going through. One day I went into work and I just broke down. I just couldn't deal with it anymore. And I told my coach, everything what was going on, and I was like, I don't want to leave my job. I don't want to get fired because I was coming in 2 minutes late.
So you're
here.
trying to keep this together and-
Yeah.
and work a full-time
Yeah.
job at the same time, and nobody's helping you.
No, and I told them, and I'm not gonna lie, Timo was absolutely amazing. And they told the director, and I worked my ass off. I
Okay.
worked very hard.
Yeah.
So he knew that my living situation was just a little too rough. And he told me, look, I know there's a shelter here that I guess he knows you very well.
He knows Pastor Ron, one of our
Oh,
pastors.
okay.
Because they work at Secret Santas together.
So that's what it was.
So
He
Ron
said that he
called
knew
me.
one of the pastors, yeah,
Yeah.
and he said, let me see what I could do. And he knew that same night we were gonna sleep in a car most likely because it was over already in the other place. And
So
he
you
told
couldn't
me
tell
they
any
have a
more.
room, yeah, he told me they have a room there available and they said they're willing to take you. But you have to answer 9. I was like, I want it. And when I got here at 8:39, you guys had the room all ready for us.
All right, I'd like to hear from the children what it was like, how they felt. Isaac already shared. Would you girls mind, I know this is kind of, I know you're bashful, you little kids.
She's the shyest, the big one. She's gonna be hard to get a couple words out of her.
Would you mind saying something about how it felt to be like that? How did you feel?
It was cold.
It was cold. That's a good, honest thing. How, was you scared?
A little.
Okay.
Same one as me.
Same as you, I know.
Yeah,
I heard
they
your
were
testimony.
nervous, especially at nighttime. That's when they were kind of, because we were surrounded by RVs, all these big trucks and everything, but
Wow.
we were the only ones in actual tents. And then we would hear all these animals walking around, so they were nervous.
Well, it's cold weather, so the tents
Yeah.
ain't out.
Yeah.
People don't live in tents in Maine in the
We
winter.
were the only ones there in the campgrounds with a tent. Everybody else was in RVs. and
Yeah, well,
stuff.
they got heat.
Yeah. Mhm.
Wow. Lily, how did you feel about all that? Was you nervous? Was you scared? Was you, what?
How was it?
How did it feel, darling?
Same thing as my cold. It was cold in there.
It was cold in there.
I had bags in the middle of me, but so was one on that side. I was on the other side.
Okay, so you was on the outside where the cold could get you? Is that what you're saying?
No, I was sleeping.
Okay.
She
So,
She was in the area where she felt the cold because of the
I
snow.
thought that's what you were saying.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, me and Lily went. Me and Lily headed to sleep next to the wall in the tent.
And that's where you was trying to double the walls and stuff, correct,
Yeah.
David?
Yeah.
Well, mostly it was, I knew if I covered it, and we had a little space heater, it was just a little electric
I
thing.
didn't have
It'd
enough
keep the
blankets,
heat
so
in,
I
so.
I grabbed David's
You
warm
took,
jacket and put it on.
you took his jacket and put it on you because you was cold?
And it worked. And
that helped?
Yeah.
Okay, let me ask Maria and Dave.
What about Priscilla?
Priscilla, how did you feel?
She loved it.
How did you feel being
She
out
made
in the tent and
she
stuff?
made
She
little
was
two
really-
friends.
Every time I wake up in the middle of the night because I'm on the floor.
What? No,
You were on the floor?
No,
Yeah.
we're on the end.
it was
It was
cold.
in front of you.
She wakes up to go. She wakes up to go to the bathroom and is all the way down there. And
Oh, that's right, you don't have a bathroom in the
sometimes I
tent.
forget.
I didn't
No,
think
that was
about that.
oh my God, that was another thing.
Oh, my word.
We would have
So
to
you had
go-
to get out of the tent to go to the bathroom, you have to go
Middle
outdoors.
Yeah, for showers and the
Sometimes I
bathroom.
forget. We
Yeah.
had to wake up David for me and
So
Priscilla.
every time they
And I
needed the
think to
bathroom,
go.
I would have to go or he would have to.
Oh, my word.
Most likely he would because I was even scared at night.
Oh, my word. So,
Sometimes I forget where I sleep.
you did what?
Sometimes I forget where I sleep, so I use my overload.
You forgot where to sleep? God love you guys. So,
I was
How
my
do you-
over.
how do you feel about being here, guys?
Good. Good.
It's fun?
Yeah,
Okay.
I like them.
I like the presents.
You like the presents at Christmas?
I like going in the back.
I love the scooter.
You like the what?
The scooter.
The scooter?
Oh,
that
in
you
the
got for
back.
Christmas?
I love my speaker. We used it.
Okay, so
We used
you,
it for everything.
yeah, you guys had quite a Christmas here, didn't you?
Yeah. Yeah, they did.
So, yeah. So anyway, how did you find when you come here? How did you feel after you got here and settled in? What did you think about what we have here?
It was, no, I like it here. You guys are, the staff and everybody, they were really helpful and welcoming all the time. When I got here, they asked me, what they needed. They asked me immediately, what their sizes were, without me asking anybody. We had clothes when we first came here and everything, but the staff, everybody, every couple minutes when we the first 2 days, every like half hour or so, somebody would knock on my door. You guys okay? Do you need anything? Do you guys okay? Do you need something? And even now, we've been here, going on 2 months? 2 months. And Kim, the lady from the closet, she's awesome. She's always knocking on our door, leaving stuff for the baby if she knows he needs something. And Seth's wife, she's actually just got a crib set for him as well, so.
Seth's wife's a lot nicer than him.
The
Just so if everybody was wondering.
No, but everybody has been, they have been amazing here. I have no complaints.
How have you found the food here?
Good. I actually went for Christmas, and went over to the kitchen to Ken, and I helped him do like just some food and
Cake
cake pops and
pops.
stuff.
Now, you made one meal, and was that Mexican food?
That was Dominican food, just
Dom-
Spanish.
Okay, Spanish, because I don't even like that kind of food, and it was awesome.
Yeah, it was just rice, beans, and chicken. baked
Yeah, but
chicken.
it was good.
And
I mean-
egg salad and egg salad.
And yeah, potato salad.
So you guys feel like you fit in okay, and
Yeah.
do you feel
What they
comfortable?
wanted to do,
I
Do,
what
do
they
you
wanted
feel
to do.
do you feel safe with your children here? I know you're scared
Oh,
in
yeah.
the tent.
No, I'm comfortable.
You
here
feel
with them.
safe and secure
Yeah,
here.
they're always all over the place.
I
Move on. They're all over the church now, and everyone is always looking after them. They already know whose kids they are, so I have the numbers of the women upstairs, and they're always in contact with me. I can leave them, and they go upstairs with the kids. here.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of people are watching this, and if there's somebody out there wondering, should I support something like this? Is this worth getting behind? Because they hear all kinds of rumors, like, we're a bunch of drug dealers, and
Oh, God.
I mean, there's stuff out there. There's unbelievable rumors. And what would you say about if somebody said, Maria, should I support a place like Shelters by Jesus?
I mean, if I was financially where I wanted to be, I think me and David would more than happy also help.
So this is something
Whatever is
that you
going
would
on
support
here.
for somebody else?
I mean, we've been
Yeah.
on the other end. I mean,
Yeah.
she's been with me. We've donated money to people. Just not donate to like you guys or anything, but just in passing, I'd give somebody $20.
But
Um,
if we are where we should
Yeah.
be, I would love to help.
So you consider
Financially
this
as
place
well.
worthy of people,
Of
that
course I
people
do,
can
yeah.
feel comfortable
Yeah.
donating here?
Of course, yeah, most definitely.
we didn't expect to be in this situation at all. This time last year, I mean, we were in our own home, having our own Christmas. Could have happened to anyone, and
It's just you guys made it home.
there needs to be a lot more
So that's,
places. A lot more places.
It
like
made
this.
it hits, I think, any parent that they're in the shelter, because the kids don't have their own place,
Right.
their own bedrooms and all of that, which is understandable, but I honestly, it didn't even faze me this Christmas. I thought it would bother me,
Yep.
but not once did it bother me, we're not in our own place, so the kids are not in their own rooms. They were so happy. I was working, just them coming over here and the sand and the gifts, and yeah, it's great. And now I was able to work from home, so I turned the little closet into the room that we're in now. I work from home, so it's
Now, if there's people out there watching, they maybe even know some homeless person, but the homeless people are afraid to go to a shelter because of how the stories are here.
yeah.
Would you tell people that this is not a place to fear?
Yeah,
Oh yeah, no.
yeah, definitely.
I
mean, where else
haven't
can
met
Where else
anybody
can you
here.
go and set up a T-Mobile office in your room in the closet, in your room, and work from home in a shelter? I mean, where else can you do that?
No,
can't
you
do that-
guys,
can't
it
do
doesn't
that
it
anywhere
doesn't
else.
feel like a shelter here. It doesn't.
Yeah,
Not at all. I've seen my fair share of shelters. I've
and I think it's a tough
done
enough
time before,
already.
like just help shelters out here and there in the past, and
So you've worked at shelters
I
and
have.
helped out?
to give time, yeah, like
But it
the
was
soup
different than
kitchen
this?
and oh yes, made extremely. It was nothing compared to this.
Okay.
So
So what about this place that you'd say, I'd recommend this place because of?
just you guys don't judge anybody, and
Well,
I like that.
I think because if I'm speaking from, our perspective of family perspective, it's already difficult enough going through the whole transition from having a place to live and then being homeless. So I don't think we would have been able to cope with it as well as we did if we didn't come here. It would have been somewhere else. We would have been separate. We could have been separated. We could have been, there would have been all kinds of different things that could have made it a lot less pleasant than what you guys have
Yeah.
developed here. So
Everybody here is also very nice. So
Well, we
Very
appreciate
welcoming.
that, we appreciate that very much. So you talked about Seth's wife being so good.
yeah.
Seth, could you just come in a second?
Oh, sure.
For those that don't know, I want to introduce Seth Roberts. You saw, he was on my last podcast. He has his own podcast, by the way, he does here. But Seth is our chief of staff.
Yep.
He's the one that does the hands-on and And he's the one that works with
Yeah.
the families and stuff.
Mhm.
And what's it been like working with this family, Seth?
Maria's fantastic.
Well, thank you. I knew that was coming, David.
He
You
does
knew
it
that was
all the
coming.
time, every time.
Yeah.
He does
No,
it
Dave's
every
been really
time.
good. You know, I often think that if I were in David's shoes, I don't know if I could have handled it that well. It would have killed me to have, you know, and these are some amazing children, absolutely amazing children, and it's been a joy. You too. Look at that smile. It's been amazing to have them here. It's been wonderful. It's been a blessing to know that these 5 children are in a safe place.
Amen.
They're getting to know Jesus, they're getting fed, they're getting clothes, they're being taken care of, they're still going to school.
Yeah.
And they have fantastic parents who love them very much, and it's been a joy. It's been a joy. Now that I know them, I don't ever want to hear them out in the car again.
How did you feel hearing their
Oh
testimony,
my
man?
Lord.
You know, I ask yourself, speaking to the camera, how can people watch this and think that folks like this are being driven out of town at night?
How do you live with yourself? Imagining Corinthian,
Yeah,
little
the
man
sofa.
right there,
Yeah.
laying with his parents in the snow.
Yeah.
How do you live with yourself? I mean, you're less than human, if you ask me.
Thank you.
So, but, yeah.
Well, we want to say thank you for coming and sharing this, because this means all the world to us. This is why we get up and do what we do, is because of folks coming in like you. And to know these kids are okay. We have other kids here, we've had other kids. And I mean, I just watch the kids interact here. You can see they're comfortable where they are. They're not going,
Oh no, they love it here. I've told them before that I'm looking for a place, and when it comes up, the first thing she'll go and tell me or this one is, what's gonna happen with the people over here? Are we gonna stay visiting them? Can they come over to the house? So,
well,
So they-
we appreciate that, Maria.
We do.
Thank you so much. I guess we're signing off.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I want to say thank you for joining us with Shelters by Jesus Radio. And if you would like to support us or learn more about us, go to sheltersbyjesus.com. Check out our website. If you want to support us, there's a place there where you can donate, and $9 a month. $9 a month will take a family like this off the street. $9. So if you're thinking, well, I just can't do everything out there. I'd like to do more for the homeless. I'd like to do something big. That $9, when you go to bed tonight, you can go, wow, somebody's got a pillow tonight in the bed because I gave $9. It's that important. And I got books. I got 4 books out, the 5th one on the way. But if you'd like those, you'll see all about them on my website anyway. And you can get them for free or $10 donation, whatever you want to do. We just need your name and your address. And you can get it on, go to our website, and you can get our address. It's 12 McCullen Street, Skowhegan, Maine, 04976. You can call my office at 207-474-8833. Or you can just order through our website. So we would love to put these books in your hands. And thank you again for watching our podcast. Thank you again for looking at this gorgeous family. And thank you again for the heart you have for just watching us. So, want to just say good
so
night
everybody bye.
and God
Bye.
bless.
God
bless.
Bye, guys.